RBK Nation, this is Real Boxing Knowledge 2. Your boy RBK is in the building. So we're going to chop it up today and bring the best news ever. We got Canelo facing Jermall Charlo. We got a $50 million guarantee going to Mr. Canelo Alvarez. We got the return of Floyd Mayweather back in camp. We got Jermall and Terence Crawford coming up fast. So check it out, fellas. We in the building, and we got to talk about this. Here we go. All right, y'all got a real interesting development going on right now. And we've got some eyewitness testimony to the big fat return of Floyd Money Mayweather. Reports are that he is back in camp and coming back to regular competition that will count against his record. That's awesome. We've got a witness, Clarissa Shields, says that Mr. Floyd Mayweather looks like he can beat anybody from 147 to 54. She don't see anybody that Floyd couldn't beat right now, based on the witness of her watching Floyd train and run and get back in the thick of things. She says there's no competition. He could literally run the table from 147 to 154. That's awesome. So who would you like to see Floyd Money back in the ring in regular competition against that, these current day young fighters? Who would you like to see? Y'all already know who I want to see. I want to see Mr. Crawford in there with him. Because if you're going to step up and say you pound for pound the best in the world, then obviously we would like to see that against top competition. A lot of people think we're hating on Crawford. We want Crawford in the ring with top competition, the best talented fighters possible, because he's professing to be the greatest fighter in the world. Why wouldn't we want to see that? Don't keep giving me excuses. Show up and fight, and then you get some respect. Okay? So we're going to cover a little episode between Mr. Crawford and Boots Ennis later on, but let's get to the big elephant, the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Is Canelo Alvarez versus Mr. Jermall Charlo. Now, Al Heyman has offered Canelo a one-fight deal for $50 million purse guaranteed to face Jermall Charlo. That is amazing. That is a great payday for Mr. Alvarez as well. Now, there are reports that Eddie Hearn has made Canelo a two-fight offer to go ahead and fight Bivol, and then at 175, and then a trilogy match with Triple G. But that's a two-fight guarantee. We see it being very intelligent for Canelo to go ahead and face Jermall Charlo. Okay, because everybody wants that fight. That's the big fight. That fight's going to do pay-per-view numbers off the chart. And if you agree, hopefully everybody will join RBK Nation. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you get your notifications on. Comment in the comment section about this. But if you will follow RBK Nation, in that we're going to be watching the judges in that fight versus Charlo. And, if you're a real boxing fan, you know how to score a fight. You know who just won the round. You don't do the fanboy thing. You look and see who actually just won the round. Get your little tick sheet going, put your two names down there, and add up the rounds and do it fairly. Okay. And then match that against what you see the judges do. All right. Because if it's another plant fight type scoring job that it's 11-round fight and they had that fight, but all the judges had it 9-2 for Canelo. See, that's corruption. That's cheating. That's bull crap. Okay. We don't want our champions using crutches like the judges and whatnot to keep rolling. We want to see real fights. This is a real sport. Some of us have boxing pages and channels, and we're dedicated to keeping up with this sport, and we don't want to see that BS. If you agree with us, like and subscribe in the comments, and hit the bell icon and follow us, because we're going to give you the absolute truth. We're not going to do the fanboy thing. We are only interested in true talent, real pound for pound status, none of the politics and all of that stuff. Now, if you show up and fight, you get respect. If you keep coming up with excuses, you don't get any respect because you don't deserve any. Okay, so let's move on to the big news. We got Terence Crawford tweeting about Jermall Boots Ennis. And look, man, one of the things that we pay attention to in the sport of boxing is heart. Okay, we look for the cojones, say it with your chest. All right, so you the best pound for pound fighter, but you got Jermall Boots Ennis calling you up. And you got a lot of fanboys trying to help you, Terence, talking about, oh, well, it ain't no, man, let me tell you something. They could put that fight right now. Terence Crawford could get on Fox pay-per-view. He could charge probably $120 for that fight and people would buy it. Okay. But we got Terence doing a lot of peculiar stuff. This ain't hate. This is what's happening. See, understand the difference. Terence is rejecting the fight with Boots Ennis. Why? There's nobody else at 147 that he could fight, especially right now. So what's he doing? Just sitting back, waiting, collecting dust. Dude, he's 34 years old. Is he just setting us all up to just, punk out and retire or what? You know what I'm saying? All he fought is Errol Spence's shell, which was Sean Porter. Spence knocked the fire out of it. He couldn't even finish the fight with Terence Crawford. He didn't put up the fight with Crawford that he put up with Errol Spence. And he was still winning through 8. He was, and Terence was told by his corner, hey, you losing fight? Like, I'm losing the fight. Yeah, you losing the fight. Okay. And then you got Porter coming back out there and trying to take rounds off and coast and got caught. So bottom line is we want some explanation. Al Heyman, the PBC, Crawford says he won't fight for the PBC. He won't take no Al Heyman checks. He's suing Bob Arum, so he can't go to Top Rank. Can't go to PBC for some, it's probably too easy to make the real fights if he goes to the PBC. So he got to dangle around out on the outside looking in. Okay, and then here comes Eddie Hearn. I mean, everybody's offering Crawford an opportunity. Okay, he's turning down Floyd Mayweather. He don't want to work with Mayweather. He don't like the way Mayweather manages or something crazy like that. Like he's ever done business with Mayweather. Okay, so you hear, are we seeing a pattern? Is anybody else smart enough to pick up this pattern? No PBC, no Eddie Hearn, no Al Heyman, no TMT. He don't want nothing from Floyd. He just, there's a whole bunch of people talking about him and Terence Crawford, and he gonna go ahead and tweet a whole bunch of people talking too much for no reason. Talking too much for no reason. Dude, you are the Duckmeister, okay? And you're doing it to yourself. All you have to do is stop pretending that you're waiting for this summer for some reason for Mr. Inactive himself, Mr. Keith Thurman. And we got a recent post on Facebook, fellas. I just put him on blast. I put Terence on blast twice, actually. Once I said, Thurman, if Thurman stops Barrios, we won't get a Crawford fight this summer with Thurman and Crawford because he'll duck him. All right. And then the other one I put him on blast on, I put Terence on blast. Basically, I said that Boots would knock him out TKO in 4 rounds or less. So then would he ever win another world title? And if so, and that was between 147 and 160, and if so, who would he beat? The only scenario I see that Crawford would win another world title in, straight up, because I think Jermall knocks him out. I think Spence probably gets a decision win over him and may hurt him and almost knock him out of something, probably. But unless, Crawford don't have no fans with the judges and whatnot. Nobody's going to hand him a fight. So if Jaime Munguia gets the Triple G fight and wins, I could see Crawford and Munguia, and Crawford would beat Munguia. On or off clenbuterol, it doesn't matter. WBC title would come back to Crawford in that fight. That is the only scenario I see with Crawford winning another world title, because he ain't going to beat Boots, and he knows it, and he ain't going to fight it. And then you got Ugas hanging around out there also talking to Crawford, telling him, yeah, I beat you in the amateur. Nobody's afraid of Crawford. He's got this mystique going on with all that subpar competition, all of that 140-pound mess is pretty much, anybody, Berto could have won all those titles. Okay? Berto could have beat everybody that he's faced to date. The only question would have been, obviously, because he didn't beat Porter. But I don't think Crawford would have got past Porter if you switch Crawford out with Berto versus Porter at that time when Porter fought Berto. If you put Crawford in there, Porter beats Crawford. Porter had Crawford beat through 8 rounds in this last fight they just had. It is what it is, people. Y'all just want to call somebody a hater. Get a life. Come on. Ain't nobody hating. We stating the facts. Crawford won't cooperate with anybody. What is he trying to do? Does he want to be a fighter? Yeah, he like to peacock around and say, I'm the best fighter in the world. But you ain't doing nothing. Dude, you've been a welterweight since 2017. You got one top level fighter that Spence knocked the fire out of on your record. Everybody else, you can forget about. Amir Khan, bro, really? Washed up Kell Brook? Matter of fact, though, look, I don't know if y'all seen recently, but Kell Brook, look at his training right now for that Amir Khan fight. He looks like the old Kell Brook. He looks really sharp. So, hey, I wouldn't mind maybe, I want to see Crawford in with the very best that we have available, and that will be Jerron Boots Ennis and Errol Spence. Okay? I don't think he's getting past either one of them. Okay? I don't even think, you know what? He probably could get a decision win over Ugas. And I mean a split decision win over Ugas, because he probably won't bang with Ugas. I don't think Crawford has a chance. Straight up, Gamboa hurt him and the Mean Machine dropped him. True or not? Is that hate or facts? See what I'm saying? It's not hate. It's just fight analysis. That's all it is. And anyway, fellas, like and subscribe to the channel. That's all I got for you today. Thank you for listening to the broadcast. And RBK Nation, y'all be easy. We got some real bad weather coming up. Nationwide storm here in the U.S., ice storm. So y'all stay off the road. And if you're feeling sick and you want to get over it fast, get your flu jack on. That's FLU-jack, Wipe it out in about 1 to 3 days. All right. Y'all be easy. Peace.